There's a lot of great educators out there, and there's value in their education, but there's more value in somebody who's able to say, hey, I've already gone down this highway. I already know where the potholes are. I've already taken the wrong turns. I've already, found out where the traffic jams are. And I'm going to give you the detours so that you don't run into the potholes, make the wrong turns, and run into the same traffic jams that I did. What somebody can save you in time and money by having gone down that road first is literally invaluable.
Welcome, everybody, to the Chris Harder Show, where we are making you unapologetic about your pursuit of success, knowing that when good people like you make good money, they can then do great things. My name is Chris Harder, and several times per week, I will bring you epic guests, solo episodes, and every single tool, trick, and skill set you need to grow your business, grow your money mindset, and to grow your wealth to levels that you have never reached before. I've ended up in a unique place in life where I've got the experience, the connections, and all of the secrets that it takes to be successful. And I'm lifting the curtain to reveal it all to you in an effort to help put you in a position of abundance so great that you can then be as generous as possible. So let's lock arms and let's get started.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Chris Harder Show, where today I'm grateful that we are coming up on the Christmas season. I know it's not even Thanksgiving yet, but I am a Christmas freak. You have to understand, we already have the tree up. We already have the lights inside up. This week, the guys are coming to decorate the entire outside of the house. And I mean, we do it up good. Like, this is one of the houses you stop in front of and look at. We go all out on the lights. I freaking love Christmas. I don't know why. Maybe it's all the nostalgia. It gives me a pep in my step. It is like the greatest time of year for me. Now, if you're like, what in the world is this guy talking about? I start every single show with gratitude. In this case, I'm grateful for the Christmas season and the energy it gives me because I want to lead by example. I'm a huge believer that if you don't stop and take inventory for what you're grateful for, it's like not having it at all. And if I don't demonstrate or remind you to do it, then in this busy world, it's hard for you to remember to do it. And with Christmas season comes what we call around here Mastermind season. Now, what is Mastermind season? It's the beginning of that season where everybody starts choosing their coach or the mastermind they're going to join or both for the next year, in this case, 2026. And so I wanted to help you with this. I did a couple of posts around some key questions that you can ask so that you don't get ripped off. And they were really popular. So I thought, well, I'd expand them into an episode so that if you do these things, you'll know that when you make that investment, the chances of you getting a really good ROI, right, return on your investment, is that much higher. And the chances of you getting hosed are that much lower. The truth of the landscape is this. There are a lot of coaches, more than ever. And there are a lot of mastermind choices, more than ever. And that can get confusing. Because there's three types of categories out there when it comes to coaches and masterminds. Category number one is they just want to make money. They're not a good coach. They don't run a good mastermind. I hate to say it. There's even some true scam artists out there that are quote unquote big names. Gosh, I just want to start a list one day and out them all, because I actually know the truth or I know what's behind the curtain. Anyhow, so category one is the stay away category. They're just not good, period. Then category number two is the really talented, well-meaning, but inexperienced category. And that one can be hit or miss. And then category number three is the lots of experience, plus well-meaning, plus very talented category. And that's the category that you want to invest in. So how do you find out, right? Because there's a lot of marketing and there's a lot of glitz and glam and there's a lot of shine and there's a lot of, social media and there's all these things that look really good. And so it can be very confusing to know who to invest in. So in a minute, I'm going to give you three key questions to make sure that you are able to invest in the right person. Now, I want to start out by telling you a story about a bad investment that Lori and I once made in a coach and mastermind. Now, I'm never going to name names ever, so don't ask. And I'm not going to give clues as to who it could be because that's just not, how I roll. I know I joked before. I'd love to out all the scammers, but the truth is that's just bad energy. But I do want you to learn from our experience. So one of the first masterminds that Lori and I invested in was a really shiny person that was a fantastic salesperson and great at marketing and was doing a good job of getting themselves on all of the stages and getting themselves highlighted by all of their peers, etc. And so with all of this glitz and glam and appeal, Lori and I thought, ooh, we really want to learn from this person. And we met this person at a high-end event that we went to. And this person did a good job of chatting us up and sitting us down and asking about our goals and our dreams and saying, oh my gosh, I can totally help you with this and I can totally help you with that. And I mean, they were really good at selling. That is a skill set that they had for sure. And so we signed up for their mastermind, and it was $74,000 for us as a couple. Now this is, I don't know, maybe 8-9 years ago. So 74 grand is a lot of money anytime, but 74 grand 8-9 years ago is a ton of money. So we're really excited, right? We're making the biggest investment in our business development we've ever made. This person is awesome. They made all these promises. This is the year, right? And so we get to the first event, and there's not a lot of correspondence, by the way, by the time from when we sign up to when the first event is. There's not really much for calls or anything other than make sure you're at this first event. So we go to the first of 3 events, and we get there, and the entire beginning of the event is just this person bragging on themselves and putting up their numbers and telling old war stories of everything that they've done for pretty much the first half of the first day. I don't know if they felt like they had to edify themselves or what. Then the rest of the event was this person calling individuals from, our participants up one by one and putting them on kind of a hot seat, asking them a question or two about their business, but then proceeding to tell them all the things that they would do better, not in a coaching way, but in a bragging way. I don't know how to state it. It was almost like, oh, that's so dumb. All right, here's what I would have done. And here's a story when I did something like it. And there's a difference between sharing experience constructively and performing. And this person was performing. So by the end of the first day, Lori and I were like, okay, this is a weird experience, but we're here for it. Maybe it gets better. Well, the second day, they break us off into groups in order to do some exercises, and they sign us up for individual one-on-one coaching sessions. I'm like, all right, here we go. Now we're getting some one-on-one attention. This is pretty cool. So towards the middle of the day, it's Lori's and my turn. We go into our one-on-one coaching session, and it's this person and the other person who helps run their business. And the whole thing is a sales pitch. Now remember, we already spent 74 grand to be in the mastermind. It is a sit down in this conference room. Tell me about your goals and dreams again. Sales pitch, a sales pitch for a VIP day, a sales pitch for more one-on-one attention. By the end of it, they had asked us for another $150,000 worth of services on top of the $74,000. Now, this is day 2 of the mastermind. And Lori and I politely declined them, saying, no, this is already a big investment for us. And, I don't feel like I should have to invest in those other things. If I spent 74 grand on this should be pretty life-changing, right? So sure enough, the rest of that one event goes on, and it just kind of crumbles and gets worse. And this person even kind of has the attitude of I can pick up the energy of oh, we didn't say yes to their upsells. So they're kind of putting their arms around the people that did say yes to the upsells. It was just very obvious. And so Lori and I not only left that first event with a bad taste in our mouth, we never got on another one of their calls, and we never went to the following 2 events that we paid for. That's how bad of a taste it left in our mouth. So did we get, anything for our $74,000? The average person would say, no, you got ripped off. But the truth is we got a lot because we didn't know it. But in the future, we started running coaching and mastermind programs. And what we learned was everything that we would never, ever do to somebody. We would never put them into a program and make them feel like they're being upsold all the time. We would never put them into a room and make them feel uncomfortable if they weren't saying yes to this pitch. We would never get up there and just brag and perform and brag and perform. So we learned a lot of what not to do, which sometimes is equal to or even more valuable of a lesson as learning what to do. And we have used that valuable experience and that valuable knowledge literally throughout our entire careers of trying to help other people. And I think it served us really well. So how could we have avoided this situation? How can you avoid these types of situations? Well, there's 3 questions that I think you need to ask every coach or every mastermind person before saying yes to their coaching. And the first question is this. Actually, guys, hold on a sec. I'm going to interrupt this podcast for something really, really important. And if you've been a long-time listener, you know I have never, ever interrupted my podcast to share something before. But the reason why I believe it's so important is I just had my annual tax and wealth planning meeting. And I've been given access, just like every year, to so many incredible tax saving hacks, so many privileged moves that I can make with my family office, that it's kind of unfair that everybody else doesn't get these. Now, if you're familiar with the family office, you have to have a certain level of wealth to be able to work with one. And most people listening probably can't just go and work with my family office. And so the reason why I haven't brought this up before is I haven't actually had a solution for you until now. A solution, quite frankly, that is so important, I'm interrupting this podcast for it. Now, dear friends of mine started a company a while back called True Wealth. And not only do I trust them dearly, I have watched what they have done with my friends and my clients to be able to coordinate their tax situation, their business compliance situation, their insurance situation, and their personal wealth management. Because these are not separate things. This is the number one mistake I see entrepreneurs make. They go out and they piece together these separate people for their business compliance and for their tax situation and for their personal wealth building, and they don't work together. Except that's the problem. Each one of these things actually depend on each other to maximize the savings. And I don't mean by a little bit, I mean by a ton. Because I trust True Wealth so much, I am sharing this with you right now, not as an ad, because I am not getting paid for this, but because I believe it's that important for you to explore. If you have a multiple 6-figure business, preferably they're a good fit for those with a 7-figure business or close to it or higher, then I want you to hit pause real quick and set up a free call with my friends. Set up the call at chrisharder.me/wealth. That is chrisharder.me.me/wealth. I'm telling you, you can't afford to piece these things together anymore. You are wasting so much money. And if you're sick and tired of feeling like you're working too hard to have too little money left, these are the people that'll fix it, because there's a lot of money out there that you don't realize that could be left over that you don't have access to. So just set up the free call. They're my friends. I've literally never interrupted a podcast for something like this before, so you know it's important. Go to chrisharder.me/wealth, and then let me know how it goes. I'll let them know that you're calling. All right, back to the episode. And the first question is this. What have they built or what have they run that is similar to what you want to build? In other words, have they run a business like what you're trying to build? Or do they have a lot of experience coaching businesses in what you want to run, like real provable experience? Or have they invested in companies like the company that you're trying to build and, have those contacts and being able to see kind of behind the scenes? Because the truth is, there's a lot of great educators out there, and there's value in their education, but there's more value in somebody who's able to say, hey, I've already gone down this highway. I already know where the potholes are. I've already taken the wrong turns. I've already, found out where the traffic jams are. And I'm going to give you the detours so that you don't run into the potholes, make the wrong turns, and run into the same traffic jams that I did. That is invaluable. What somebody can save you in time and money by having gone down that road first is literally invaluable. So that first question, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Coach, what have you built that is similar to what I'm trying to build today? The second question is, what are their retention rates? Not just from last year to this year, but could you share with me your last 3 or 4 years running retention rates? Could I see a trend? Could I maybe see how many people come back each year? This will tell you, are people kind of one and done with their program? Meaning they get in there, they're like, it's okay, but I wouldn't sign up again. Or are they renewing maybe once, twice, 3 times, multiple times? I know in our elite level mastermind, We have members that have been there 5-6 years. We have a member that has been there since year one. So we're going into the 9th year in our elite level mastermind. We have a member that's been in there all 9 years. So why is retention important? Retention is voting with your dollar. I want you to think about going to a store or a restaurant you like. If you go into a restaurant and you have a terrible meal, you never go back there again. You're voting with your dollar. You're like, I'm not going to spend my money there again. But if you go to a restaurant, you're like, oh my God, the food was great. The vibe was awesome. That server was incredible. The host or hostess made me feel super great, like I'm a local. Then you're going to keep going back to that restaurant over and over again, voting with your dollar. I choose to spend my money here again and again and again. I already know what's on the menu. I already know what the meal is, and I know that I love it, so I'm coming back for more. That's what retention rates tell you. And again, not what was your retention rate just last year, but can you give me a few years running of your retention rates and put a little color around it for me? So that's question number 2. And question number 3 is, could I please get at least 2 references? But this is very important. Could I please get at least 2 references, one of which is somebody who's still in the program, and another of which is somebody who has left the program? By the way, for added bonus, could you give me a reference of somebody who has a business like mine that has been in your program, that's still in it, or has left the program, right? So that's the ultimate reference, someone who has a business like yours, so they can talk about some of the things that they were taught. But even if you can't find someone with a business exactly like yours, could I please get 2 references? One of them, someone who is still in the program, and one of them, somebody who has left the program. The reason this is important is you want to find out why people are renewing. That's the obvious one. Hey, what'd you like about it? What made you come back again this year? And you can get to know the member, like, oh, is this somebody that I might like, masterminding with and collaborating with? But then the second reference, this is the important one. Somebody who has left the program. Now you get the chance to ask them, why'd you leave the program? Why aren't you still in it? What'd you get out of it? Was it a good investment? And you're going to get a good objective answer because, well, they're no longer in the program. So they may say, oh, it wasn't what I expected. I had to get out of there. Or they might say, it's changed. Or they might say, it was the best thing ever. I had just been in there for 3 years and I feel like my business grew 500% and it was time for me to go get into a bigger room or whatever it might be. But you're going to be able to learn so much from one referral who is still in it and one referral who has since left. Now, here's the key. A lot of you will get these 2 references and be like, okay, good. This person gave me 2 names. I'm feeling pretty good about this. They wouldn't give me names if they weren't going to be good. Call them. For the love of God, text, call, check in, voice note with these references. Literally check on these references so that you can get true feedback. One who's still in it, one who's left. Those are the 3 questions, guys, that'll save you infinite amounts of money and time and energy and heartache. Number 1, what has the coach already built or been highly involved in running that is similar to what you're trying to build? Number 2, can you show me a trend of your retention rates and put a little color around it for me? Number 3, could you give me 2 references? Somebody who's still in the program and somebody who has since left the program. And I'd love if one of them was in a business similar to mine. Those 3 questions will save your ass and they will save your wallet. Now, you already know we have 2 incredible masterminds. And as we're going into mastermind season right now, where everybody's choosing, there's a chance to get into both of them. The one that we are concentrating on right now is the Elite Entrepreneur Mastermind, where you have to be earning $500,000 or more to be able to get into that mastermind. Now, most people in that mastermind are 7- and 8-figure earners. But if you're earning $500,000 or more, don't be intimidated. Don't talk yourself out of it. If you're like, ooh, gosh, I want to wait till I'm 7 or 8 figures so I don't feel out of place. No, that's the wrong approach. You actually want to be in the room that stretches you. You want to be in the room that's having conversations that you have to kind of catch up on. You want to be in the room that is thinking bigger than you. You want to be in the room that normalizes 2, 3, 4, 5 million a year, not trying to go from 500,000 to 750. There is a real magic that happens when you step into a bigger, more intimidating, scarier room because you suddenly have to rise to their level, right? Water seeks its own level. And that's exactly what happens when you get into the bigger room. And this is the room that has one-on-one coaching with me throughout the year. This is the room that has the in-person meetups. There's an opportunity at 3 of them this year. This is the room where both Lori and I are intimately running it. This is the room where we keep it really small, so we call it a mastermind family. The Elite Entrepreneur Mastermind, going into its 9th year, guys, has been the program where, half the room renews every single year. If you want to fight your way into that room, or at least have a conversation about it, go ahead and just DM me. Go to Instagram, Chris W. Harder, DM me the word apply, and fill out the quick app, and we'll have a great conversation around it. Or you can just skip the DM and go right to chrisharder.me/mastermind. That is chrisharder.me.me/mastermind and apply for that one. Now, if you're not quite at $500,000 this year, 50, 100, 250, 350, something like that, then we've got our Mentor Collective Mastermind. And if you want to hear about that one, we'll be enrolling that one soon as well when we're done with the elite level mastermind. And it's first come, first serve. We just allow small batches of people in there at a time. So go ahead and put yourself on the wait list. I would just say DM me with a question around either one of ours or anybody else's. When it comes to mastermind season, I help place you in all the different masterminds, even when they're not ours. I've done that the last 4 years running and people love it. Actually, 5 years, started in 2020. So thanks for listening. Make sure that you ask these questions, protect your investment, and increase the chances that you're going to get a great ROI. And I would love to see you in one of our rooms. Thanks for listening. Love and appreciate you.
Thanks for listening. And if you loved this episode and know of someone else who is as successful as they are generous, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world to me if you help me get this cause and this message out to as many listeners as I can. So please, if you liked what you heard, it goes a long way if you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review and share this with your friends. I'll be forever grateful. And until the next episode, cheers to your success.